Really? I think we need to talk about last night. So the Premier League kicked off last night with Arsenal hosting Coventry at the Emirates Stadium in the first game of the Premier League back in the new season. And it's got everyone going off on a tangent, so to say. Not all, but quite a fair few. Now, let's just start this off. It was never going to be a straightforward game. We have been a championship team for several years now. We haven't been in the Premier League for 25 years. Arsenal have got like £1 billion squad, whereas Coventry, well, we're barely hitting, we're just about hitting 200 million. There's a big difference. Now, we haven't played Premier League football to that we haven't played that level of football forever. Like, we used to Championship, League 1 and League 2. And people have, on the first game against Arsenal in the Premier League, have already gone off and won. Arsenal were never gonna be an easy challenge. It was never going to be easy to go against Arsenal at all. It was always going to be a tough one. But probably the most toughest game we'll play the entire season. Arsenal, they won the Premier League. They are defending their title, their league title, again this season. Now, I've already openly said I reckon Arsenal will go and win the league again. I generally do think that. But in regards to what people expected from us, in regards to it was going to be a fair challenge, no. I always expected Arsenal to thrash us. The Arsenal game was, in my opinion, a game of getting the players to experience what we've got to play like for the rest of the season. Now, it's a completely different world in the Premier League compared to the Championship, and we needed that learning experience. So people saying that it was going to be like 2-1, I kind of did say it, but I think at the time I was living a bit of a fantasy world. Why, I don't know. I expected Arsenal to thrash us. But 3-0, I don't think so. And hear me out here. I believe Arsenal would have thrashed us, were going to thrash us more. I generally did believe that. I was expecting 6-0 to Arsenal. So, 3-0, I think, is pretty poor for Arsenal. Now, our first half, we weren't the brilliant. I would probably say the best person on the pitch for the first half was Ellis Sims. And I'm not the biggest Ellis Sims supporter. But I think he actually did pretty rather well. He has got some Premier League experience, so he kind of knows what we're going against. But the rest of the team was like a bit like half asleep, so to say. Now, in the second half, we actually woke up a bit. We actually went, right, that was our first half. We didn't do great. We should have expected more. But let's up the ante, which we did. We gave Arsenal a pretty good running. I mean, we went 2-0 down in the first half. That was so expected. And I expected Arsenal to keep going that second half. But they didn't. They only got 2, which still gave us the opportunity to come back. Now, in regards to, so to say, the goals, they weren't the most brilliant goals from Arsenal. someone like Arsenal going against Coventry, you would expect them to get better goals, more anticipation, more power, like edge of the box, and I mean like on just inside the box from the back there, straight into the goal. They were scrappy. They weren't really the best. Them two goals were just really unlucky. I mean, one defender defending two people two Arsenal players in that box. We made mistakes. They were sloppy. There were things that we can technically improve on, and we will. It's one of them games where I didn't care what that result was going to be. I'm not saddened by it. Not like going into a championships match like when we played Southampton when we lost to them and we went 1-0 down. That hurt. Considering the performance we were playing all season, but there again, Southampton came out and with this whole Spygate thing. So, just kind of makes sense why we lost in the end. Not that we've openly admitted that they did spy on us. But I'm not hurt about it. It's one of them where it was a game against Arsenal. We had to learn. It was a big learning game. We made mistakes, especially when we come back in the second half and that third goal went in. That was kind of the seal of, yeah, okay. We ain't going to try and come back from this if we do try. Which we did. Bringing on Victor Torp, that was a great sub. He definitely added a bit more power. And then we got Jack Rodoni in as well. I mean, Jack Rodoni's header. It's annoying because if it hadn't hit the face and actually hit his head more, that would have gone in. It was just very unlucky on where it came down on him for it to get his face. But the end result is we lost 3-0. They should have got 6-0. At least. The fact that they went 3-0 up and they were still playing, but then we brought Victor Torp on, Jack Rodoni, and we got a bit more aggressive. It was one of them where it should have been a lot more, but it wasn't. I particularly don't think Cov have got much to worry about. It was our most toughest game we've got all season against Arsenal, especially home. A lot of people are going to go to the Emirates Stadium this season and not win against Arsenal. Very few will win. So people going in expecting Cov to thrash Arsenal, you need your heads wobbling a little bit. We move on to Hull next week. Championship side, so we've got chance. Yes, they gave us a real good challenge last season. They really did. So it's going to be interesting. But the squads have improved. We could see a win there. And what we're going to do is, the way we stay up this season is we're not going to win against Arsenal. Not at home anyway, not the first game. But coming in, now we've got Hull, Ipswich, Sunderland. Even Newcastle's going to be a great game for us. As long as we can get the wins against them, that could see us staying up. But going against Arsenal and trying to get a win against them and expecting to win against them, absolutely not. But we've got things to learn from. And we will improve. But the people on the Coventry, I'm in the Coventry City Forum. If you are, I do not know. But people saying Lampard out, that we were absolutely awful, and it was embarrassing. We shouldn't have lost that. What did you expect? Like, I'm sorry, but we weren't going to go in that and thrash Arsenal 3-0. It was always going to be an Arsenal thrash us. So, please, like, people already wanted Lampard out. Generally. Wobble your heads a little bit. Screw it back into place and actually look at it. Arsenal did what they dominated the game. And we had some moments, but Arsenal still weren't great. So, losing 3-0, I don't think is that bad. I think it's a pretty decent result. I mean, look at the week before. Man City lost 3-0 against them. Does that mean we're on par with Manchester City? Potentially. Look, we lost. We move on. I'm not hurt about it at all. Hull next week. That is one team we need to try and win against. So yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon with a brand new video. Goodbye.